So Gary, who's doing it well? What brands are doing a good job with the thank you economy or social media in general?
This is tough, right? Because this is where I think I'm doing a really bad job. I know our clients are doing it well, and that's like the cheesy answer. I'm not spending a lot of time paying attention to other people. I think some people may view that as a strong weakness. I view it as a strong strength. And there's probably, the right answer is probably a little bit in between. I'm probably doing a little less paying attention to competitors and other brands than I should be. So this question's tough. I hate that I'm probably not answering it as well as I could.
Well, let me
but
put
that's
it
the
this way.
truth.
Yeah, well, you were a little bit critical of the Old Spice campaign,
I was,
right?
because the Old Spice campaign was a social media campaign which doesn't exist. They did this hoopla. A lot of people know what happened. You know, they took the guy from the commercials. They amassed a lot of people, got a lot of followers, did YouTube videos, did one-on-one marketing. They did, listen, if you read it carefully, I give them a lot of credit up to the last point, which
So that's
is
what they did right.
they did almost everything right.
Okay.
They created context in the character. They made it one-on-one. They link baited Kevin Rose and Alyssa Milano. They went into Reddit. They did almost everything right until the big money shot, which is that they let that community sit there and they left them.
Yeah.
They left the community. And so I think that was a huge mistake. I think that, you know, and what to people that didn't see it, they amassed tens of thousands of Twitter followers and then @replied one of them in the course of 6 months because they just wanted to amass them. They looked at it as data collection. They looked at it as an email newsletter.
Yeah. It's that old collection versus connection thing.
That's a very nice one. I haven't heard that, believe it or not, that often. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It's the one night stand versus marrying somebody. They one night stand their customers. I think you need to marry your customers because I think we're all going to map, and this is it. Anybody watching this video, this is the moment you've been waiting for. This is the only thing you need to take away. We are going to map through UI and UX, through ad platforms, through A/B testing, we are going to map customer acquisition.
Awesome. The holy grail.
Facebook and technology is going to help us map. Why do you think Farmville and Groupon and Gilt Group do what they do? We will map customer acquisition, the battlefield going forward for all of us, production companies, wine guys, business peeps, is going to be retention, lifetime value. And the only way you do that is by giving a crap and being human. The businesses that understand how to get there in a scalable way, whether they're $1 trillion or $9, are going to be the ones that are relevant going forward.
I like that. A lot of the people who are watching want to know, sort of want to break this down probably and understand, you know, you say that the Old Spice campaign was great in many ways, but they fell short. They fell short because they didn't respond or engage their people. They were just collecting. Now, I think on the Old Spice campaign side, the brand managers might say, we sold a ton of product. We did great. Our ROI was, you know, through the roof, better than expectations.
They were on coupon during that time.
Yep.
So debate of, you know, of what really helped move the product is there. But they did do well. They got me to buy a stick of Old Spice deodorant. I did. I went to CVS. I saw it. I was like, oh, it kind of all resonated. You know, this is branding, right? Impressions, emotion.
Awareness,
I bought it. But then, and not a lot of people are gonna do this and they're not worried about my business, because they handled it so poorly, now I don't buy it. And they've lost my business forever. So they did more damage than they did good. I think it's a very interesting debate. What I know is this, I don't believe they created any lifetime value. And I don't understand how to go forward without lifetime value.
So then what's the lesson here for small business owners and entrepreneurs?
That when you invite 80,000 people into your universe and you got them there because they're excited, you don't just never talk to them again. And that's just, everybody understands that. A new restaurant that opens, you don't run a bunch of ads in town, everybody gets pumped, you got a big time chef, everybody shows up, and there's no employees or anybody talking to them.
Yeah.
They didn't follow through. They didn't follow through. You know, every woman out there knows exactly what I'm talking about. You had a great date, it went awesome, and he didn't call.
Yeah.
How does that feel? Like crap. That's how those customers felt. There was no engagement, no relationship. And in a world now that we live in, which is based on word of mouth, we're based on word of mouth, because that's what Facebook and Twitter are bringing to the table. It's bringing word of mouth on steroids, where context is being created. I like this pizzeria. I hate this burger. I like this airline. I hate this hotel. These impressions are being thrown at us from our friends.
And being indexed, by the way, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
But more importantly, when your aunt says that this place is delicious, instead of an advertisement, it matters more because you have a relationship with your aunt. That endorsement matters more.
Yeah.
And these things are happening. The way we do business is changing. It's gonna be a lot less of talking and a whole lot more of listening. That's a culture shift from the way we've done business for the last 150 years. And there's a lot of pain and changing into that game. It's kind of like businesses have been playing basketball for the last 200 years, and all of a sudden we said, you know what? It's now about hockey. Some people aren't going to translate.